Hey everybody, welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I'd just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, okay? Another disclosure, I do have a large stake in AMC, so please take that for what it is, just full transparency there, all right? Let's get into the video. So I'm sure most of you who own AMC did receive an email saying, hey, it's time to vote for our stockholders meeting, and there are a few things that I just want to go over in the email just to break it down in simple terms so we all make sure that we understand exactly what is going on, all right? So whenever you click on the email and you go to the link, it's going to bring you here, and here you can click on the annual report or the statement, which the statement is going to show you exactly what is going on over here with the different proposals, and we're going to go over all of them just to make sure we're all on the same page, okay? If you do have a differing opinion than I do, please let me know respectfully in the comments. We've had a lot of good discussions recently, and I really appreciate it whenever someone gives me their opposing opinion and a supporting arguments. So I really support that. I think it's really healthy, and I appreciate those comments, even if you may be a little scared to give a differing opinion. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing, and here's what the voting form will look like. It should look the same for everyone, I believe. And so here is the first thing that we're talking about. So proposal 1 is going to be to approve an amendment for this is the additional stocks. Okay, so increase the authorized common stock. So they want to issue an additional 500 million shares to make the total over 1 billion. Okay, so they basically want to almost double the shares that are currently available. Okay, and so we did talk about this before, but just to kind of reiterate the pros and cons of this, okay, they do go into a few points down here that you may want to read into, but just to get into the kind of a baseline of exactly like what is going on. So there are pros and cons to it. So let's look at the disadvantages of increasing the stock. So in short, it can result in share dilution, because there are more shares. So whenever you increase the supply, you typically lower the demand. Now, another thing, so essentially that would make the shares less valuable, okay? So again, the earnings per share would theoretically drop because of the dilution of the shares, okay? So let's take a look at the benefits. Looking at the benefits, because the increase in capital for the company raised by selling additional shares of stock can finance additional company growth, all right? If the company invests the additional capital successfully, the ultimate gains in stock price and dividend payouts realized by investors may be more sufficient to compensate for dilution of their shares. So basically they're saying, let's say they raise enough capital, and with this capital, they do great things, and they branch out into all these different, let's say, I don't know, VR streaming or whatever. It could be maybe they come up with their own platform. Who knows what they would do? But if they are able to use that money and saying that there could be some good benefits for you. Okay, so that is the first one I wanted to take a look at, and personally, I am just not a fan of it. And they go into some of the reasons that they want to do this down here. Nothing really standing out to me. I wish they would say exactly what they want to do with it, and they may have an opportunity, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So taking a look at number 2. So this is for the election of director for term expiring at the 2024 annual meeting for Philip later. And you know what? If they want to do that one, a theme that I kind of have going with my decisions is I want these guys to be happy. I want them to know that the apes really fought for them. They gave them what they wanted, and I want them. And this may not be the best way to think about it. I want them to treat us right. Okay, we want them to be happy, so they make good decisions that will support their shareholders, which is us. Okay, so I'm probably going to be voting yes on this. Please don't let my decisions sway you either way. Please make sure that you're making the best decision for what you think is best for you and the company. But that's just kind of my thought process, and maybe that can help you make a decision if you're kind of on the fence. Now, for the election of the director term, so just election of official members, and you know what? If they want these people, then they can have them. That really doesn't mean any difference to me personally. Now they want to ratify the appointment, so they want to have their own public accountant. No problem at all. You can have whoever you want. So proposal 4 is to conduct a non-binding advisory vote to approve compensation for the executive officers. Again, whatever makes you happy. If they want to pay them X amount of money, I want them to be fairly compensated and feel good about what they're doing. So this is one I did want to take a look at, number 5 here, proposal 5, and let's get into exactly what that is saying. So proposal 5 here being their equity incentive plan. Okay, so essentially what they want to do is they want to increase the number of shares available for awards under the executive incentive plan, or EIP, by 20,000 shares to 20 million shares to 35 million shares. And essentially, keep in mind that this is for awards, okay? And you know what? It's also going to take 20 million shares essentially out of circulation, kind of. So I'm perfectly fine with this, and I'm going to continue to. I'm probably personally going to say yes to this one as well. Okay. The final one that I wanted to that is on this list. The final one that is on this list is the adjournment of the annual meeting. And so essentially what this is going to do is down here it says, well, I can go ahead and break it down. Essentially what it's saying is if we can't agree on something, is it okay if we go ahead and try to change your mind? And so I'm okay with this, because let's say for number 1, where they're issuing the additional shares, right, the extra 500 million shares that I'm kind of afraid will dilute the stock. I'm not really sure if they have plans for that money, if they just want the option, or what is going on. If they can go ahead and if they want to go ahead and reach out and say, hey, we want to do this for XYZ, then absolutely, I would love the opportunity to change my vote at that time. But until they can give me a good reason as to why they want to do that, any kind of plan, I think I'm gonna stick with my answer. But if they can, again, if they can just give me a good reason, I would love for them to have the opportunity to present their case. Okay, that's what I have for you. I just wanted to do a quick video. I know a lot of people had questions about what is going on, and I'm sure you all received the email and you may not know exactly what to do. So I just want to make it super easy for you. If you have an opposing opinion, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk about it, and I'd love for you guys to have a civil conversation about maybe some things. Maybe you don't agree with some of my decisions, and I would love to know why. Maybe you can sway me the other way. All right. That's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you did like it, please consider subscribing. I'm doing my best to cover AMC, GameStop, the Squeeze, and other stocks as much as I possibly can with the latest news. I just want to make sure you guys are super up to date and are not in the dark for anything. All right. If you did like the video, please consider dropping a like as well. People need to know. People need to know what is going on. They need to be informed to make the right decisions. All right. Thank you again for taking the time to watch the video. Have a good one. Peace.